There it is. There it
Hey,
is.
hey, it's you and I, Doug.
I love it. I love when we talk like this. Cindy,
Yes.
what's happening?
Well, hey, lots. And today's session is Ask Anything. So
Oh,
everybody, you get to ask Doug and I anything. We can't
but,
promise you we'll know the answer.
but be careful, people. Be careful what you ask, right? What's the old phrase? Be careful what you ask for, because
Yeah,
it might happen. It might happen.
yep. Or you might not want like the answer. Um,
Wow.
but yeah, it's a little bit of a crazy market out there right now. Um,
Yep.
we're waiting for more inventory, that's for sure. How is it in the Grand Rapids, all that area?
Same thing, same thing. And I think you guys would probably agree. I mean, this is always kind of interesting because, what we talk about in previous sessions with lead generation and all of these things that we want to really take a hold of in the month of January, February. Now we're kind of approaching that spring market. And for me, this is kind of where I get a little excited about saying, okay, we're seeing an uptick in inventory a little bit. We're seeing some interest rate kind of move a little bit. Melissa Crimmins is here. She's joining us too. I love it. I love it. I love it. There she is. We're talking about the market, ladies and gentlemen, in terms of what's happening. And again, I've got just how do I say it? A legal pad of people that want to buy a home, but yet I don't have a whole lot to sell them. And I don't
Yeah,
know if that's something that you guys can share in that story or not, but I'm hoping the spring market for us really shows more inventory, maybe even a little less in terms of interest rates. I just think there's a piece right now that people just are not finding what they want. So a lot of the kitchen table conversations are about having those types of meaningful conversations about what's going to happen this spring.
yeah. And I'm seeing a lot of, because I think the fearful part for sellers is, are they going to find what they want? And I'm seeing more contingent offers.
Yeah, yeah.
Contingent, and some of the homes aren't listed yet. I was at the Mount Pleasant Coffee Hour today, and we had a great discussion on writing contingent offers and that. And Doug, I don't know if but you know that, oh, what's it called? Oh, let me tell you.
Yeah, what's it called?
It is, okay, I got it here.
Tell me.
I got it here. Um, oh, right here it is. It's Your buyer wants to buy a new home but does not want to become homeless. Now what? But there's Eric and Don developed that, but it's got all kinds of different language on what to use for contingent offers and that. It's
Yeah,
fantastic because I mean, I know in Lansing we're seeing contingent offers. They were saying that they are in Mount Pleasant more and more. And I think it's more, sellers, you want sellers to, if they're going to sell, when's the right time to sell? Now.
no,
And
no.
to
Chris,
have alternatives.
I'm seeing Chris doing it. You're doing this, Chris. You can relate.
Yeah, absolutely. Seeing definitely low inventory for like the entry level and like second home price points, like 500,000 and less, like Rockford area, Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
Yeah, inventory's been tight. We've been seeing, I've got like two or three active buyers, and we see like maybe a house a week that fits what they're looking
Isn't
for.
that crazy? And
Yeah.
this is kind of where we're always talking about find those people that want to buy or sell. Maybe it's going to be an off-market deal, right? And
Yeah.
we see a lot of that come up too. So Cindy, help me out with this form again that Don and Eric came up with because
Yeah,
this will help me.
yeah, and I can send it out to everybody, but it's called, and I'll send it to you. It's called Your Buyer Wants to Buy a New Home but Does Not Want to Become Homeless. Now what? And I use this as a guide. It has, if let's say you were a listing agent and your seller hasn't found a home yet, but they want to list their home, but if an offer comes in, you don't want them to accept an offer and not have anywhere to go.
Yeah.
Granted, they should always have a plan B, but there's language in there, that the offer would be contingent on them closing on a home, and you can put a deadline, or if they already have a home, but they don't want to seal the deal exactly until they, get the clear to close on their new home. So
Yeah.
that's there. What happens, when you're in the buyer position? all that. It's 3 pages, but it's language. I
Yeah.
think they've loaded it in dot loop.
Did anybody
Uh,
else see it? Mike, Melissa, Jill? I haven't seen that form. If I sound like I don't know what I'm talking about,
yeah.
that sounds fun. That sounds good to me. I just need to know more
It's
about it.
helpful. It's really helpful because
Yeah.
you know how you guys are when you're writing an offer and you're like, oh, you got to make sure when it's contingent, you got to check off all the boxes. You got to make
Yeah.
sure all your bases because you don't want your seller to be homeless. You don't want your buyer, so and you could be in when it's time for them to buy and they haven't closed on their home. I mean, it can just be kind of a
Yeah.
domino effect.
Mhm. Yeah, I just feel like I'm always in that position of getting into a competing situation, probably in your market, Chris, Rockford, Grand Rapids area, that, all of a sudden I'm competing with four others, and gosh, there's parts of me that say, gosh, what happens if I don't get that? And I'll never find these people a home. And so we've ended up more often than not in second position, third position. Just driving me crazy thinking, now I'm managing emotions, you guys. I have people looking at me like, Doug, will we ever get a house?
Are we
Is
always
this
going to be
some-
in second
is
spot?
this what are
Yeah.
we doing that we should how we should be crafting this offer that we're not doing that, right? So I think those questions are very real. So I love this forum, Cindy, because it sounds like that could help us.
Yeah, it sure can.
Good.
So I'll
Gee,
send that out.
I like it. Anybody else having things that are like struggles besides me?
Melissa, share.
Melissa's got her hand over her mouth. What is going on, lady? What's happening? I'm hearing stories about you. They're all good, but I hear this last transaction for you was
Yeah.
uh, how do I
Yeah.
say it?
I have to say, even this morning, I sent an addendum 3 to terminate,
Okay.
and everybody was helpful on this. And I would start from today, just back without trying to, with helping me not overshare. And that is that the selling broker called me this morning after he received the addendum to terminate in mutual release. And he said, but it seems like your buyer really wants to buy this property. And I said, they do. And they're a great buyer
Yeah.
and cash buyer, good people, want to work with everybody, but they're not going to buy a property that has no boundary survey. And there's only a survey for 1 acre and it's marketed as 5.3 acres.
Mm.
So he said, well, why didn't you write the addendum that way instead of writing it to terminate? And I said, because I have been trying to call you for a week and emailed you, and you have not returned my phone calls. You have not
Mm.
emails. And he said, well, maybe you don't understand. So here we go, right? I said, no, you don't understand. I said, don't even go there.
Yeah,
And
you're probably glad you didn't call me because I would have just blown a
Oh,
top over
I
communication.
this.
said, yeah, I didn't want to go into, you have no idea how many eyes from five-star real estate brokerage have been on this.
Yeah.
They all come back to the same thing. And you know what? At the end of the day, not to get into the dirty story about it, it was about the fact that I would say, I, when I saw the purchase agreement or I saw the MLS listing and noticed there was no survey, when I wrote the purchase agreement, I wrote in the notes, buyer requires a survey.
Hmm. Hmm.
Then we went back and forth on the price. And then in the first addendum, I wrote, buyer requires a survey. And the selling broker responded, survey recorded, if any. And I, this is one of those things that I looked at that and I thought, wait a minute, wait, what are you talking about? This is definitive. There's either a survey or there isn't a survey.
Yeah, it's a
But
yes or no answer.
right, but we went forward and the purchase agreement was accepted. That was on Monday. By Wednesday morning, I was getting emails from the title company to me, not even copying him.
Mm.
All I saw was a series of question marks. This says one parcel, there's no survey. The legal description does not match the survey. And boy, did I learn something yesterday from Don that I think is so important. I'm sure we've got a bunch of gurus on the call here that all know this, but that GIS not your survey. Mortgage, uh, um,
Not your survey.
not your survey. Plat map, not your survey. Boundary survey. And every single word, not just saying we need a survey, but saying we need a boundary survey for all 5.3 acres, not just the 1 acre, all of it.
Hmm.
And I just had that feeling when I read those words, survey recorded dash if any.
Yeah.
And so that was not really the issue at the end of the day. If he had picked up the phone and spoken to me, and I would have said, look, it's weird. In order for it to go through, this buyer has to have a boundary survey. But he
Mhm.
would never pick up the phone and talk to me. And so it just made everything go up, up, up. And
Yeah.
the buyer, who's way more ready, willing, able, cash offer, willing to work with the seller. If they'd come and said, look, the seller doesn't want to spend a nickel more, they really can't afford $2,000 to $3,000 or don't want to spend that money right now, don't want to afford that. The buyer probably would have said, well, okay, I'll split it with them and maybe take the other $1,500 off the purchase price. I mean, she's really a super kind
See,
person.
that's a good example of communication. You know,
Very.
I really don't understand because you can't read, you can't get a feel for the transaction if you're going by text message or even email. Granted that they probably should have at least done that, but the phone call, I mean, communicate because
Pick
you
up the
can't get
phone.
a feel for
I,
it.
as you can probably maybe tell, I have this weird sinus infection. I'm sorry, and I look terrible. But on Saturday, as I was laying there so sick, I thought all these things running through my head. I thought I need to just take everything that's in my head and write it in an email and send it to broker support of what has transpired over the past 4 days to get it straight. And I'm going to send this to the selling broker and the title company as well, just to say, this is what the chain of communication has been over the past 4 days.
Oh,
Title company said this, Leelanau County said that, Star Title, who actually was just trying to help me out, provided this. And I get an curt email back from the selling broker, cease this communication at once. It's like, what? And I even said in the closing, hey, I'm here to assist. I'm here to help. Use me. I'm here in the trench. What do we need to do to make sure this buyer is confident with the right survey information?
yeah.
And he said, I don't want to talk to you. We don't want to talk to you. So,
Well, and I'm going to echo too, Melissa, what Cindy just said. You know, much of this would have been resolved, talked about. I mean, whether it was a happy compromise and both buyer and seller would have, ponied up half for this survey. Anything that needed to be talked about, negotiated to keep the deal together, you would think that both sides would have said, "Hey, we really need to problem solve here and let's get this thing figured out."
yes.
It just doesn't sound like that was happening at all. I'm sorry about that. Doggone it.
Yeah.
Listen, how many times can you get to the point? I mean,
Yeah.
put me in that level number 5 of persistence, tenacity. I will call, I will go to your doorstep, I will track you down under the dark of night.
Yeah.
How many phone calls can you make? And it's like, what do you get to the point where maybe there's nothing wrong, but then what are you hiding? And that's not good. I
Yep.
could go into a buying situation with any buyer and say, well, it's enough. There's legal descriptions. The title company's okay with it. They're going to underwrite it. Let's just move it along. I
Yeah.
couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what separates us from a lot of agents in the industry. Doesn't it frustrate you guys when you write stuff up and you want just a simple phone call with the other agent and just to kind of open up communications because we're going to be together for the next 4 or 5, 6 weeks possibly.
Right.
And man, the things that can be solved with just simple phone calls, just to make sure everybody's on the same page. Man, you went to the nth degree, I'm sure. And what came out of that
Well,
was
it's not over. Now he calls me this morning and says, it seems like your buyer really wanted this property. I said, she did. And I felt like saying, and I didn't. I actually called him by the wrong name. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, Tom. Tom. Um, I was so shocked that he called me.
yeah,
And he said, it seems like they really want it. He said, well, why don't you write the addendum that way? Why don't you write the addendum with the items from the inspection? And why don't you write the addendum with the request for a boundary survey? And I thought, that's all it took. That's
Mhm.
what it took, was a phone call.
That would have been a great idea about a week ago when my buyer
Yeah,
was all in.
because
That's
now you've
right.
caused
So
all
where
this.
were you in the last week, right?
That's
Yeah.
right. And
Yeah.
the other thing is, our broker support team, which Cindy helped me out on this one, and everybody's helped me out. Everybody. It's
Yeah.
just amazing to anybody on the phone call. The support has been amazing. Um,
That's good. That's
but
great.
that one of the comments that was made was, Melissa, don't kill the deal. I mean, don't get over my skis, as I like to say, get over my skis, get too far over your skis, and then you're like, all of a sudden you're falling forward. Um, get over your skis too much. It's up to the buyer. It's up to the buyer to decide. Maybe they want to proceed and they'll get the survey done afterwards and figure it out. So that balance, with all that knowledge coming from broker support, um, but also all the caution flags coming from the other direction of that, my job isn't to make the decision for the buyer. My job is to present all the information as I have it
Mhm.
in front of me.
Mhm.
They finally, I kept saying, talk to your lawyer, and I gave them the name of a lawyer that literally is one block down the street from their house. I know we both know him. I said, call him. He's a real estate lawyer. Talk to him. They finally called him, and he said, well, two things. One is you have to have a boundary survey. I mean, end of discussion for
Yeah,
both.
it's 5 acres. You want to know that you own it.
And he buys and sells a ton of real estate, a ton. He's like, don't even do it if you don't have the boundary survey. That was when he said. And then the next thing he said was, I know this seller. I can't help you. I can't look at your documents. I can't review your purchase agreement.
Yeah.
Oh,
Possibly a conflict of interest in some way or another. Yeah.
but look how much work you did for your buyer. And as a buyer, I'm sure they're impressed by that. That you went, above and beyond to do that. And I mean, really,
I'm gave him a draft addendum this morning, and ball is in this buyer's court. The terminate addendum has not been signed, and so
Chris, what do you think?
Just curious, like what's causing the discrepancy in the acreage? Like, have you figured that out yet, or is that something that you really can't determine until you see the survey? Is it like, is there a property split or something?
uh,
What's
I
the difference there?
I can tell you what I know. I can't tell you what I don't know, obviously. The property is marketed as 5.3 acres. There is only one recorded survey, and that's for 1 acre. That's the acre that the the structure sits on, the two structures, the house and the garage. There are some wetlands on the back of the property. It's also adjacent to potentially some tribal lands. Um, there's one address that's on, after doing digging into the research, that's on one road, and then there's another address for the second parcel that's on another road. And so there needs to be a current survey. There's nothing, I mean, in talking to the county, and I know many people at the county personally, and I talked to the county, and they were just like, huh? I mean, there's surveys from 1971, 1972, 1985. It's time to have it cleaned up. There've been multiple owners, so,
well,
but
good
it's
for
a nice piece
you.
of land in a great location with a nice little structure on it and garage. So it
God,
is a,
Melissa, I kind of feel like this might work out.
I hope so.
I'm,
Gee,
we might be talking later today again, huh?
I hope so. That would be great.
Well, good.
Good, good, good. Well, best of luck with that, man. I'm hoping, yeah, as Cindy said, I'm hoping the right things happen there. And so,
Mhm.
you're gonna see it through, aren't you? You're gonna see it through. I love it.
Well, if they don't buy this, they'll buy something else.
They
So,
will. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
say you've got buyers for life. They love you and
yeah,
they
for
want you to,
sure.
they'll absolutely want to stick with you and make sure that that happens. So,
well, I hope so. I have to true confession to all the people on the phone and on our team and the experts that are here. Um, I of course, as Luigi was coaching me yesterday, he's like, you know what I'm going to tell you. And I said, I know what you're going to tell me. My blessing and my curse is that I really care. I really want to get it right. And, that's that getting over the skis. But when I saw that in the purchase agreement, Chris, for example, that red flag went up to me, just in my gut, like, that doesn't feel right. That's when I knew. And
I go with my gut.
I
I
could have
really do.
and I didn't. So
Yeah.
my message to the others that are more in my lane, um, that when you feel that follow that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
That's good.
advice.
Good advice. Great advice. Thanks. We can all learn from that for sure.
Mm-hmm. Because we
Yeah.
all get in a hurry and things, things that, well, just like Melissa was saying, you have to be, like Don was telling her, you have to be specific. You need a boundary survey. I mean,
Yeah.
I can think how many times I put survey on an addendum. I'm thinking, huh,
Right.
I should have put boundary survey.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
really,
Yeah.
but that's why we have these meetings and that, because we can all learn from everybody's experiences. Because I really don't believe there's a transaction. I mean, I always think that you can learn from every transaction.
Yeah, this was a hard one. I mean, I had so many of you coaching me, Cindy, Don, Eric, Star Title, Leslie, Heather, and even the Star Title people, Heather, who I know because I know her through our group in Traverse City. Um, Heather, she's a tough nugget. Like she just gives it to you the one punch right between the eyes. Like that's it. And she said, "This is on you." And I'm like, okay, I got that. Fine, on me. Punch me, give me the, uppercut now. And the uppercut is you need to be getting into the municipality. You need to be digging into the county records. You need to be pulling up the GIS. Um, okay, got it. Like I got that right hook, uppercut, right between the eyes. It's on you to do that. And that that was important for me to hear also.
Plus, a
Good.
great trait is you're not afraid to pick up the phone. I learned that early in real estate, man. Pick up the phone. Don't. I mean, it's just people on the other line. Call, get us, I ask a lot of questions. I ask a lot of questions, don't I, Doug?
Yeah. No, I do
I
too. How
do,
do, how do
because
we
Funny,
learn? That's how
When
we learn,
you
folks.
ask
That's
me
how
this
we learn.
question, I'm like, because until I get to the point where there's something definitive here, why are you not happy with the fact that there's two legal descriptions? The underwriter is okay with it. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
yeah,
All right. Well, we're on the right track. I can feel it.
yeah.
So, hey,
So
what else, gang? What else? Man, this is
ask us questions.
talk to us, Jill,
We want to
Mike,
feel smart today.
Chris. There's got to be things on your mind. What can you think of? Michael, you got to have something. I know you do. Nothing?
I
What's
I wouldn't
working?
hate going back through some of maybe some contingent options. I have some sellers coming up later this year that are probably going to have to sell and buy within, that 30 to
Yes.
45 day range to make it all
Yeah.
happen. Are there any
Yeah.
like tips and tricks, things you guys like, um, kind of what's your roadmap when you have someone that comes in that has to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Cindy hit it because I want you to
um,
talk about that form too. I love this.
I last year I had several contingent offers, and I'll be honest with you, I was stressed out,
Yeah.
because especially I had one that was a three-way. I don't normally like to do that, where it was a contingent on a contingent, and it closed, everything closed, but you've got Chris, you've got that's gonna a seller that's going to eventually want to buy, but it's got to be contingent on the sale of their home.
Very likely is what we're looking at is that they will have to sell first or at least be under contract to be able to make the purchase on the next one.
Okay, so the important part is when you sit down with them, and I always do this, is I go through the scenario of what can happen, the time frame, because you have to remember when you're listing a property that is where they have to buy, so that sale on on their home is going to be contingent on them being able to buy, you have to think about the timeline. So an offer comes in on their property, if it's financed, you're probably talking 30 to 45 days. And then when they find a property, that's 30 to 45 days. So occupancy is going to be huge. And I always sit down and I tell them, hey, this is the deal. It's going to be, it's kind of like a domino effect. Once we list your home, we have to remember we have to put it contingent on you finding suitable housing. And there's language in here that will help you immensely. I go to this a lot.
You
Because
said that, sorry to interrupt. You said that form was in dot loop that we could find
it's
it.
in dot loop, but I'll send
Okay.
this out to you guys too.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
helped me a lot because I'm not the type of person that remembers that language. I have to look at it. I like to read it, and that's very important. But also the occupancy because they've got to move, and if the house they buy is occupied. So you have a lot of things going on here. So I tell my sellers right up front, hey, have a plan B just in case, just in case. Is there somewhere you can go? Because what happens if you list it and you get an over asking cash offer, but they can't wait, 60 days to move in?
Mhm.
They may get an offer that they don't want to refuse. And so I kind of help them think about what they could do. The one that I had, they had parents that lived in the area. They said, hey, I've already talked to them. I can put our stuff in the basement because that occupancy thing could be tough on a buyer, especially if they have a lease. So you
Yeah.
have all those different scenarios. So you really have to I ask a lot of questions. I go through all the scenarios because I don't want them saying, hey, I didn't realize that. You never told me that. That's like my worst nightmare when I meet with clients. You never told me that. And that's on me if I didn't. No matter if I did or not, I have to make sure they understand. And then there's actually, and I'm probably in your board, I know in our board in Lansing, we have contingent offer form that we can submit back when we do get an offer. And then when you're going to write an offer for your seller, you have to make sure that the agent, everybody realizes what the situation is. So there's no gray areas or questions. And again, like we were talking about, it's communication. But it can be done and you can be successful with it. And I really truly believe we're probably going to see more and more contingent offers. So it's a great document, even if you don't have one right now to read through. So you kind of get familiar. So it's not scary for you. Because it helped me tremendously.
I have a client right now that I have her under a listing agreement, and she's a good friend of mine, so I understand what's going on in her situation, but she wants to purchase something, but she's run up a credit card quite significantly that she needs to pay down. And so she doesn't have a pre-approval from the bank, but she wants to list her house as soon as possible. But I don't know from the bank if she can really go for another house and when. So she's thinking, very soon in the next couple weeks to list her house, but she hasn't paid these credit cards off, and that's going to be another 30 days before they can run a credit. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, go ahead. No, have you had conversations at all, Joe, with her lender?
No, not yet, because she's talked to them twice and they said pay down the credit cards, and then after 30 days after they've been paid down, and she's waiting on funds from a sale of her son's trailer um to pay down those credit cards, and they said they had be paid down 30 days and then they can run
Yeah.
a hard
Yeah,
so
talking about a domino effect, Cindy. This is,
Yeah.
I just got into this a few months ago with the same thing. And I reached out to the lender. The lender explained to me how long it's going to take to build that credit back up. And I was a little bit shocked. I was like, man, it's going to take that long? I,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that, right? So the idea of listing your house right away with the understanding that you want to move into something, That might need to be that kitchen table conversation about listing to say, hey, maybe until we get farther down the road with these credit cards, getting those paid off, that extra 30 days, putting you in a what I'll call a go position or a better position might be a better option. If you go out and sell your home and all of these things aren't taken care of, back to you guys and your plan B. Well, then you better have some place to go, plan B.
Exactly. Or maybe it's smarter for her to rent, Jill,
Yeah,
especially in the meantime.
yeah,
The thing is, she's very manic depressive, so she's constantly back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and
yeah.
and then she'll call me crying and all sorts of things. So I'm a little worried. And now
Yeah.
she wants to move into the Oaks of Rockford because it's more of a community, but that's a, manufactured home community with, 700 and some dollars in lot rent for the rest of her life. And, you
Yeah.
know,
Well,
and
maybe have you sat down with her and said that if we list your home, you know, we can list it, but what's going to happen when we get an offer? Are
Mhm.
you going to be able to, and just like I said, my plan B, where are you going to go? What are you going to do? Because that buyer, a typical closing is going to take 30 to 45 days. And if she needs occupancy after closing, that's a little bit of time, but building that credit up, I've had several clients that have paid off debt, but it took like 60 days for that credit report to come back.
Yeah.
And then I had one, they couldn't buy. So it's,
Well, yeah, and well, part of it too, she will have enough equity in the house to make a significant down payment. So they're going to want to use the equity in the house. And I've had that conversation. I think I talk to her every day.
Yeah.
I mean, I've already expended my hourly rate with her.
yeah,
If I get
but
a
her
commission with
debt
her.
to, it's going to depend on her debt to ratio income too. I mean, her credit score, her debt to ratio, all that.
She's horrible with money, just horrible. I mean, she knew that she was going to have to go down this path, and she ran up her credit cards within 2 months, $22,000
Ouch. Ouch.
on Amazon.
Yeah.
I know.
I know it's easy to get on Amazon.
Um, but
Just
back
talk to
to
my husband. We
yeah.
get Amazon deliveries every day.
I know, but she's got a nice house on a lake. And then another thing is she forgot to or didn't file her homestead exemption.
Hmm.
Um,
Well,
On
she
her
so
on her current house? On her current house.
Yes. She's
Ouch.
lived
never.
there 3 years and she never did
Oh,
it. They owned it before, but it was a second house at that time. But when she moved in, she didn't file it. So I've got her going down that path, and I got her to, I gave her the email to set up an appointment with the board and those kinds of things to see if she could even get last year. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I
I
don't
had
know.
clients do that. And they actually, now, of course, it was in the city here, but they went back 2 years and
Oh,
reimbursed
good.
them. But I don't know. Every municipality is going to be different, but she should definitely contact them for sure. Because
Oh,
who
yeah.
knows? Maybe the form got missed or I don't know.
No, she never filled it out.
Well, she needs you. I'll tell you that, Jill. She
Wow,
needs you as
Jill.
far as counseling. I mean, isn't it interesting in real estate that you wear so many different hats? Now you're the counselor. Now you're kind of walking her through these necessary steps because, like you just said in our conversation earlier, there's a very good chance she doesn't really know those steps, right? And she's counting on you for guidance, suggestions, kind of to be involved. But at what point, how far do you go, right? I mean, that's always that question of saying, what am I helping her? Am I helping her? And that puts you in kind of an awkward spot, doesn't it?
Yeah, big time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's got a realtor from Coldwell Banker that is really just, I just didn't realize that there could be a realtor out there that would really kind of not be doing her job as far as selling this trailer and selling it to her son instead of listing it, but still charging her. It's kind of crazy,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's a learning experience. I consider all of it a very good
You're getting stronger through this. I know you are, both you and Melissa.
You're
So
yeah.
becoming
I
a
love it.
pro, Jill. You're becoming a pro because
You're
these are the
becoming a
things.
pro. Hey, Chris,
Uh,
you had your hand up, Chris. I didn't want to miss a comment, a thought.
I was just going to mention that my wife and I also missed our homestead exemption, but we were fortunate that the city of Rockford refunded us and we got it back through Kent County as well.
Okay.
It just took some paperwork, luckily. But we went 2 years and we'd only caught it because we went to sign my daughter up for kindergarten and they said that we were not residents of Rockford. So that
Oh
was a fun
no.
find. I've used it
Yeah,
as a touching point to reach out to a lot of clients though and make sure
yeah,
that everyone's got that set up.
yep,
Mhm.
yep, absolutely. You want to make sure you're doing that. I mean, and those conversations with your past clients about the home they just bought, when, less than 6 months ago, things like that. Those are all good touch points. I love it. So, well, good. She got into school, right? She's in school. Okay. All right.
Yep.
I'd lose sleep if she's not getting into school. Heck,
Yeah, it was an interesting week when we found that out for sure. It was a
I
lot
would
of
bet.
question marks. I was like, oh, fun mistake to make, especially as an agent.
Well,
hey,
don't, it's just
things
gonna say
happen.
you won't make it again, right? You
Yeah,
won't make it again. So
one of those darn learning experiences.
it's it. Michael Ewing, you gotta have a question. Come on, buddy. You gotta participate a little bit. What's on your mind?
Gotta participate.
Come on, I need you. As many times as we've talked, this guy's gonna be a rock star. He's just gotta get this thing moving. What, don't we? I'm putting you on the spot. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good.
Michael, thanks, Doug.
Yeah, no, you're good. I've asked a lot of questions. You know that, Doug.
Yes, keep going, baby.
Um,
Keep going.
so I'm getting out there, kind of newer to the area, doing the whole thing.
Yeah,
Went down all the rabbit holes of how to find people, all that stuff.
yeah,
It really just seems like connecting with people in general is the way to go. Like meet people, be a normal human, do that whole thing. Just kind of seems like everything I run into, no one's doing anything. They either have a really low interest rate already, so they're sticking with it. They don't know what's going on in the world, so they're going to stay put, see what happens.
yeah,
Just kind of like seemed like last year was a weird time, to go get your license for me.
yeah,
And with everything going on right now, it seems even weirder.
yeah,
So yeah, that's just where that is. There's really no question, just kind of trying and
yeah.
um, trying to find people doing something.
Well, gang, he asked me a question about expired listings. Believe it or not, deal doctor Don Phelan made a living doing what early on with expired listings, right? And you had asked a really, really great question about expired listings. Is that some, should I go after those folks? Are they friendly? Are they going to bite me if I ask the wrong questions? And my response was, these are people that had their house up for sale, right? Didn't sell in that first period of time with that first realtor. They're pretty frustrated, right? Because they want to sell their home. The home came to the end of the contract. People are still saying, look, I still want to move. That's an audience that I said, still pick up those phones, introduce yourself, get in front of them.
Yeah,
Their motivation to move on a scale of 1 to 10 is what? It's still a 10
yeah,
for a lot of them. So though for me, those are great people to talk with because I still think they want to move.
for sure. Did you guys see did you all get the slideshow that Don created for expired listings?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yep. Yep. It is good. And anybody that thinks twice about calling expired listings, if you had 1 minute conversation with Don Phelan, he will tell you that that was instrumental in him starting his business many, many years ago. And to this day, if we fast forwarded, the same thing exists today. There's a lot of
Yeah.
people that don't sell their homes that are still wanting to, and they need us. They need us.
I started out, I did cold calls too. I had a list.
Hmm.
I learned early on, I decided in my mind, I'm not going to be afraid of making a call because they're just other people on the other line. They can
Yeah.
say no, and it's a numbers game. That's how I feel when you're doing those kind of things. It's a numbers game.
Yep.
But you're doing something that most people won't do. So, um,
Yep.
I had success in it. And Mike, I think you would too. I mean, just and it start out with expired listings and just do it. Who cares? Just mark it off the list. If they're not interested, they're not interested. But at
Yep.
least you made the call, and who knows, they may run into somebody that same day and said, "Well, I just got a call from this
Yep.
Mike Ewing guy from Five Star," and they may think of somebody. So I think it's absolutely worth it. Doing things that I always say, doing things that ordinary people wouldn't do, but in real estate, every little thing you do counts.
That's good advice. That's great advice.
So how do you guys so me personally, like if I see a number on my phone, I won't pick it up if I don't know it.
Mhm.
So how do you get someone else to pick it up when they don't know my number? Just keep
Ah,
calling them over and over and over until they
All
grab
different
it?
personalities.
Chris,
Everybody's got a different personality.
yep.
Like I said, it's a numbers game. They don't pick up, they don't pick up, go on to the next one. I pick up some I'm like, oh gosh, why did I? But if they see a number that's in their area, I know if I see a 517 area code and it doesn't say spam on it, typically I'm going to pick it up because it's probably going to be somebody in the area. Um, but I think that's one of the obstacles that we could talk about, but don't let it be, don't let it be. So what? They don't answer? Next.
Jill, Chris, what do you guys do?
I almost didn't answer a call the other day that I didn't recognize and I would have missed a sale. It was a good friend of mine I hadn't talked to in years that needed to sell her house. So
Isn't that crazy? And we were all like, "Oh my gosh, it's another spam call. I'm not picking that one up. I'm not picking." And I had the same thing happen a couple weeks ago. And there's a guy that goes, "Hey, Doug, do you remember me from high school?" And I'm like, "No." But it was a good dumb thing I picked that phone call up because
yeah,
now we're meeting next month. So it's
yeah.
crazy how this works. But I'm going to echo what Cindy just said, Mike. It is totally a numbers game. Kind of make it a little bit of a game, if you will. I mean, I used to say I'm gonna call 5 expireds a day, and I'd get hung up on 3 times. And then I went, oh, okay, next. Okay. And all it does is it takes one. It takes one for someone to say, man, this guy made sense on the phone. I need to meet him. And all it takes is one. So I'm going to continually tell you those are people that want to sell their home. They're just looking for the right person to sell it with. That's it.
Okay. Is it cool you just use your regular number? Like just your number?
Yeah. Yeah, I pick it up. Absolutely. And
Yeah.
I've been known to leave messages too. And because I'm such an electric personality on the phone, you guys say yes. Who
You
doesn't want
are, Doug.
who doesn't want to talk to Doug Hale, right? So that's my mindset as I go into this and I make that call. Um, people, especially Brian Bowen, we better say, anyways. But the bottom line with this whole thing is, yes, it's about repetition. It's about getting to that call and continue making that call. So, yep,
Yeah, I think it's just do something. I think in real estate, we all get in our head like, and we're comparing ourselves. We're like, oh, geez, they've got all this going on,
yep,
all this. And then you stop. When you get all worried and all that, I know for me, I stop and I'm like, no, 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 I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do something.
yep,
And whether if you know somebody, Mike, that you met or a neighbor, hey, just to have a conversation, just a real conversation. I don't like those cheesy conversations, like, oh, are you looking to sell your house? Or just real, just be yourself. I think if you're genuine in that, in person, on the phone, I think it carries over.
yep. Think about, and many of you guys don't know much about Mike, but Mike started a construction company in Iowa. I said, think back to when you started that construction company, right? What were some of the first things that Mike did in the first week, first month, first 6 months to build your business? Because today it's a vibrant business. And that's all because of what you did when you started it. So, in the real estate's the same way. You're going to get the more people you get in front of, it is totally a numbers game. I totally know that you know sports. So how many times we get to the plate, how many times we strike out, how many home runs we hit, those are the things I want you to stay focused on in your mind. So, because they work and get out of your head, just make the call, right?
Yeah,
So,
they don't just do it. You'll feel
yeah,
so much better
yeah.
instead of agonizing over it. That's what I do. I'm like, okay, what are they going to say? And I have this all in my mind, and I'm like, forget it. I'm picking up the phone.
Yeah.
Whatever. It is what it
And it
is.
doesn't have to be perfect, right? It doesn't have to
No.
be perfect. So, Jill, Chris, do you guys do the same thing when you make calls? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, every once in a while. I haven't done cold calls yet, but I'll call. I've been calling people that I haven't talked to in a while just to see how they're doing and
Good.
say hi. And
Just to connect with
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. As Cindy said, be real, right? Be real. So that's good.
Mhm.
You can get some takeaways and just some practice.
Yep. 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 I
Yep.
love it. I love it.
Yep. You
Cindy,
have to start somewhere.
yeah. Cindy, what else you got?
I don't know. What about you, Doug?
I know. I'm anxious to learn from this group, and I'm excited that we're kind of getting into the spring, like I said when we
Yeah.
first started this phone call, to be able to say, okay, let's get some opportunities in front of us. And I think the things that we're talking about today are just a lot of that.
Yeah.
Getting in front of more people.
Yeah.
So
Just getting out there, and now we're getting some nicer, well, hopefully, I don't think tomorrow we're getting nicer weather,
yeah,
but nicer weather, and just go out in the community, do things. You'll be amazed how many people. We have a place here called Horrocks. I don't know if you guys have a Horrocks. Oh my gosh, we love this place. I see Justin Pelham there. And but it's amazing. I run into people I went to school with in that, and I have gotten quite a bit of business from it. And it's not from me. They're going, oh wow, oh, they'll say something like, oh, I noticed you sell real estate. Have you been doing it long? And I'm thinking, yeah, 20 years. But anyways, but just little things like that, just your normal routine. It's amazing how many people you'll come across.
yep, yep, absolutely right. Well,
Yeah,
that's
I'm doing yoga tonight.
Oh,
Never
hey,
done it. First
yeah,
time ever.
look at
good for
you.
you. You'll like it.
Gosh,
Except they have a lot of heavy breathing there. I don't know. What kind of yoga is it?
I don't,
It's a beginner course,
Oh, you'll love it.
obviously, but it's just, I've never done it. And I
yeah,
was
Good
kind
for
of
you.
collaborating with another girl who just started her own business and Allegan, and she asked me to do that. So I was like, oh, why not? Might as
Yes.
well
Oh,
see.
I love
So
it.
I'm really just trying to step out of
good. Be
my
careful, Jill.
shell.
Be careful, Jill. You might meet people there. You might meet people there. Be careful. Oh, wait a minute. That's the goal. That's the
We're
goal.
getting
Right,
out of our
right.
comfort zone.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and Mike, Rotary, same way. Get in that Rotary Club, man. He said he went to a Rotary meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. You liked it?
Oh, I went to chamber stuff,
Or
not
chamber
not the
stuff?
rotary.
Good.
Yeah, chamber
Okay. Okay.
stuff. Yeah,
Good.
going again tonight. They're doing a big thing. I'm gonna go to it.
Oh,
Hey,
good.
see, you're stepping out, man. It starts with little baby steps. All of a
Wear
sudden,
your
Yep.
tiger hat. You'll get a lot of conversation.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh man. All right. Well,
Well,
gosh, guys, if there aren't any more questions, I'm just glad we does this help a little bit when we learn a little bit?
Yeah,
Good.
I'm sad it's over.
well, we got power sessions coming up.
That's right. Yeah, that's
We're
coming
going to
up.
be doing power sessions.
When
So,
does that start, Cindy? That's
little
coming up soon.
nuggets.
So it's
Power
coming up soon.
sessions. I should know that.
Oh, that's all right.
Soon.
That's why I ask. I don't know either.
Yeah,
But yeah,
soon. Soon
I
in March. But it'll be great
watch.
because there'll be all I think all seven of us, but we'll be teaming up and doing different things. So yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, different topics and different
Yeah,
discussions. It'll be
helpful.
very interactive. I love it.
Yeah, it'll be like 20 minutes and then we'll have time for questions after, but just all different topics we run into
Yeah,
that'll be helpful.
good. Good.
So,
All right.
Are you
okay.
guys
All
doing,
right.
there's the 5K in Kalamazoo. Is anyone doing that on March 21st?
5K, that means I have to run?
The walk, no, it's a walk to end homelessness, and you can bring your
Oh,
dog.
Oh,
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 that,
Well, if I
Nice.
lived in Kalamazoo, Jill, I'd go because I
I
would love
know.
to bring my little baby rider with me.
Yeah, well, it popped up on the MLS
Oh, cool.
to
Jill's,
join, so I
Jill's
did
gonna
that.
go because she's going to yoga now, so of course she's gonna go.
Geez, you're just gonna be all fit and all that.
Gosh sakes.
It's a
Jill, keep
whole new
going,
world.
girl. That's good. Well, don't look for me. I'm not sure I'm going.
Oh,
I'll check my schedule.
Yeah, and you know what
okay.
that means when they say check your schedule? He isn't gonna be there. No, he's not gonna be there.
Not happening, baby. I'll try, but no.
Well, it's on my birthday, so
I will.
Oh
that's
my gosh,
a,
that's my mom's birthday
oh,
too.
is it?
Yep.
Nice.
Usually I'm sitting at
Guess
a
what we're
blackjack
going?
table at the
Borax.
casino, but this year I'm going to do the 5K. Maybe go to the casino later.
Oh,
We'll see.
yeah.
You people are stepping out. What I know about that is there are people both places that you just talked about. So you're gonna see people. So get
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah. Well, you guys, thank you, Doug. You're awesome. I love doing these with
Okay.
you.
We love
Uh, thanks you guys for coming. And like I said, keep an eye out on those power sessions. I know there's an email going out.
it. It's
And
happening. It's
have
happening.
a wonderful, wonderful day.
All
Thank you
right.
Thanks,
It's a great
guys.
guys.
series.
Bye,
Thank you very
guys.
much.
Thanks
Take
for taking the
care.
time. This has been great. Love you
Bye-bye.
guys. Take care. Take care.